Hey, what's up, guys? A few weeks ago, I did a video on stealing third base, and I got a lot of emails and a lot of Facebook messages and stuff asking me if I could make a video for how to steal second base. So I thought I'd take some time today, put a little video together for you guys. So basically, what we're going to go over is how to steal second, what we're looking for, and what situation will put us in the best chance of successfully stealing. So the first thing when you get on first is you got to know the time of the pitcher to the plate. So basically what the time is from the time the pitcher lifts his left foot for a right-handed pitcher until the ball hits the catcher's mitt, that's the time of the plate. And basically how it goes, and this changes depending on what level you're playing at. Obviously, as you get higher in levels, pitchers are going to be able to be quicker to the plate. They're going to throw a little bit harder, so the times are going to change. But typically, a 1-2 and below is going to be a guy that you're not probably going to want to steal on. That's pretty quick to the plate. Above a 1-2 is a guy that you potentially could steal on, and then when you get to a 1-3 and above, that's definitely going to be a guy that you could probably run on if you're a good base stealer. And that, once again, is going to be determined by how good of a base stealer you are. So if you're a really good base stealer, well, you might be able to run on a guy that's anything above 1-2, or maybe you can even run on a 1-2 guy. If you're not that fast and you're not a great base stealer, well, maybe you're going to have to wait till a 1-3-5, or maybe even above that, depending on your speed. So it all depends. A way you can do it is you want to know the pitcher's time to the plate, also the catcher's pop time, and then your general time of going from first to second from your steal position, and you can kind of put those numbers together and see when you can make it and when you can't. So that's up to you to determine that. So after we understand that, we're going to move over to the pitcher and what we're going to read to determine if we're going to go or not. So what I like to teach is we're going to look at the legs or the feet. So we're waiting for that leg kick, and how I teach it and how I do it at first base when I'm stealing is I stare at the feet, and if the left heel picks up first, well, that means that the pitcher's going to the plate, so I'm going to break for second. If the right heel picks up first, that means he's picking over to first, and I'm going to get back. And after you do this a while, if you're not a guy that's looked at the feet, you'll learn pretty quickly that you'll instantly tell which foot it is and whether he's going to the plate or if he's coming over. So that's how I teach it, and that's how I do it. There are other things to look at. There are going to be some guys that are special situation guys. Some guys maybe have a head nod or a head turn before they go. Maybe they roll a shoulder. Maybe they do a quick exhale. Some guys might lean. Different pitchers will do different things. So if you have a guy that's a special situation type of guy that every time before he goes, he'll roll his shoulder and then he'll go, well, then we're going to watch the shoulder and we're not going to watch the feet anymore. Same thing with a guy that leans. If he does a slight lean before he picks up his foot and goes, well, we're going to look at that lean and go off of that because it's going to give us that better jump. And when we're stealing second, it all comes down to split seconds. As you can tell, when we're talking times to the plate and we're going into 1-2, 1-2-5, 1-3. We're talking tenths of seconds here, and that a lot of times is going to be the determining factor on whether you're out or safe at second base. So anything we can pick up that can give us that extra tenth of a second jump, we got to look for it. The next thing I want to talk about real quick is when a guy lifts his legs. So let's say we're looking at the feet and he lifts his left foot and we break the second. That doesn't just mean once he lifts, we break and we go and we don't ever look again. Because pitchers are going to mix in slide steps, which are done to prevent us from stealing. So let's say we know we can steal on a guy if he's 1-2-5, and he's 1-2-5 when he lifts his leg in a full leg kick. So he lifts his leg and we break because we're going. But we notice that he slide steps, so he doesn't bring his leg all the way to the top. He's going to slide step and quickly pick his foot up and go to the plate. Well, maybe that reduces his time to the plate by a tenth of a second. Instead of 1-2-5, he's now 1-1-5. 1-1-5, we can't go on, so we need to make sure that when we break, we keep an eye on him, and if we see that slide step, well, then we just shut it down and we go into our secondary lead, and we don't steal, and we say, you know what, congratulations, you got me there, you went to a slide step and I wasn't expecting it, I'm going to wait. Because not all pitchers will go slide step every time, because a lot of guys don't like the slide step because they feel it takes something off their fastball, or Whatever the case is, most guys are comfortable going with a bigger leg kick. So we have to make sure that we're looking for the slide step. We're going to shut it down if we get it. So that's what we're looking for when we're looking at the pitcher. Now, after that, let's go to the actual base runner, the mechanics of stealing the base. And let's watch this video real quick here. Here's Curtis Granderson stealing. So if we watch him again, we'll notice that as soon as that left tail lifts, right there, he's off. He's already started his move, and he's breaking. Now let's look at the mechanics of doing it. A few things to keep in mind when you're stealing. The first thing is, don't pop up. You want to stay low to the ground. A lot of times you'll see, especially with younger players, they'll go in this crouch position, and the first thing they're going to do is not go anywhere. They're going to stand straight up and then go, and that's taking time. That's taking tenths of seconds off of your steal. So stay low and try to imagine keeping the eye level the same. It's never going to stay exactly the same because you're naturally going to pop up a little bit, but you want to try to keep that head level the same for the first few steps, and then you're naturally going to rise up into your sprinting position and be a little bit taller. The second thing you want to do is have a hard crossover. So you want to keep this foot in place and bring this side over, the back side over, and cross over towards second base. A lot of times you'll see a false step, so this foot will pick up and be put down way back here, or sometimes they'll go out here first with the right foot, and that's just costing you time because you're not going anywhere. Now the right foot's going to move a little bit, it's going to start to turn there, but there's not a big false step. It's just a hard crossover with the left foot and a break. So that's the mechanics of stealing second base. So let's go over here, make sure that I didn't forget anything that I wanted to say. I made a quick little list. Seems like I got everything. Now remember, this is done on right-handed pitchers. When a lefty gets on the mound, it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to go into a... we're not going to be reading the same things. We might go into a first move. There's a bunch of different things that you'll do differently when a left-hander's on the mound. So today I just want to do right-handed pitchers, and probably next week sometimes I'll do left-handed pitchers because there's a lot of differences, and that's going to take me probably another 10 minutes to go over. But this is for right-handed pitchers. I hope you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from. And remember, it's not always just about speed and mechanics, but a lot of the game, not just base running, hitting, pitching, all that stuff is mental. So you need to make sure that you go over this mental checklist when you get on first, and you know what you're looking for. Make sure you're doing your preparation in the dugout before the game to see any patterns from the pitcher, to get his times to the plate. And it's all going to add up to helping you steal more bases. So I hope this helps. Let me know what you think, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks again.